Hi, welcome to Community Connections. My name is Jane Powell. This is a show showcasing community involvement brought to you by the Greater Kanawha Valley Foundation. Today my guest is from Rebuilding Together Charleston, Allison Brill. Hi Allison, you are the Executive Director.
Yes ma'am.
And I'm looking forward to you telling us all about Rebuilding Together Charleston. I know a little bit, I want to know a lot, so tell me about your organization.
So Rebuilding Together is a leading national nonprofit repairing homes, revitalizing communities, and rebuilding lives. And our vision is a safe and healthy home for everyone.
I love that.
And so Rebuilding Together actually started around 1973 in Midland, Texas. And a bunch of neighbors got together and realized that some of their homes were just not the best shape anymore. So they started rebuilding their homes together. And that just took off. So they established a month every year, and that was April. So they started calling it They started calling it Christmas in April. And so with that, eventually even a month of long service wasn't enough. And so established Rebuilding Together. And so our national office actually started in 1988, I believe. And since then, we've been able to do projects, over 210,000 projects on homes, community spaces, and nonprofit facilities.
Wow.
And we've impacted over 6 million people's lives through that.
6 million people.
6 million people.
What an impact.
And so we actually, the local affiliate here in Charleston, started in 1996. And at that point, it was still Christmas in April. We didn't change our name to Rebuilding Together until the early 2000s. But since then, we've been able to do so much work across the valley, and it's been a lovely, lovely time here.
That's great. So rebuilding homes, revitalizing communities, and rebuilding lives.
That's right.
I love that. You mentioned that it's nationwide and that the local organization here. You do a lot of projects.
A lot of projects.
How many projects in a year?
Typically, we do, on average, 100 projects per year. And so we do at least 100 homes repairs to 100 homes per year. And sometimes that increases.
So you're doing, I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot.
It's a lot.
So you're doing a couple houses a week?
Sometimes. Sometimes we've been able to do 8 homes in a week. Wow. And so typically in the past, they did a whole, when it was just a month-long service, they would do over 20 homes in a day with people from all organizations, churches, communities. But now, since it's a year-long thing, we're able to impact a lot more people.
Yeah, good for you. Good for you. Tell me a story. Tell me a story of a home and a life that you have impacted.
Oh, the one that comes to mind is probably Miss Fiona. She only on her application, she just wanted grab bars. And I'm like, okay.
Tell me what a grab bar is.
A grab bar is typically in the bathroom, and it's installed in the wall to help older seniors or people with disabilities to either get in and out of the shower or to get up off the toilet.
Oh, it's kind of more support.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. And so she just wanted a few of those. And so we were just like, that's a simple job, but we'll go see. And so went to her home. She's lived there with her husband, raised 4 of her kids there. They're all gone now. Her husband's passed away a couple years ago. And beautiful home, lovely lady. And you walk in the home, it's beautiful, taken care of. And then you walk into her bathroom, and pipes have burst before her husband passed. And with funeral costs and getting everything done, the bathroom it went downhill. And so the floor was rotted. The toilet didn't work very well. It was falling through the floor. And
so there's water damage.
There's water damage everywhere, and it doesn't go with her home. And all she said, she just wanted a couple grab bars.
Aw.
And so I went back, and so we decided to go ahead and give her the bathroom that she really needed, not just 2 grab bars. So we were able to install a handicap toilet, which is 18 inches, so it's a little taller than your average toilet. And we were able to install a walk-in shower and a sink for her. And so it was, when she saw the final product, she cried. And
I want to cry.
I did too, a little bit, but she's like, you didn't give me 2 grab bars, she's like, you gave me 5.
Aww.
And so she was just lovely, and that's
And appreciative.
appreciative. And I mean, now she's less likely to fall in her home because we were able to do that.
That's wonderful. So when you say you were able to do that, you mean your organization?
Yes, correct, yes.
And then tell me about who does the work.
So basically all of our work is done by volunteers. Pretty much all of it. We very rarely bring in contractors, but volunteers, some are skilled, some have carpentry experience and such, but some are not. And so we've been able to teach youth, for example, young adults and stuff, how to work a saw, how to, you know, some youth love to paint. So we've been able to involve volunteers in all aspects of a homeowner's life and repairs.
Yeah. So not only are you impacting that homeowner, but you're teaching volunteers skills that they can take forward in their lives.
Correct. And that's been a big thing that we've been trying to push past couple years. So typically we have a skilled person on the site that is with a team. And so sometimes the teenagers, they all want to use the power tools and such, or the young adult stuff, and they've never used it, you know. And sometimes you have people who are 30-some, have never used a tool, and so they're learning a new skill, and they love it.
That's wonderful. How do people come to you to volunteer?
So they can come to us to volunteer in a variety of ways. Sometimes it's a business who wants to give back. Sometimes it is a faith-based group. So sometimes local churches.
Looking for a service project.
Correct. Yeah. We've also gotten mission teams from out of state come down and come from all around actually and do work for a whole week. And so they really want to make an impact. And sometimes it's just a group of friends who are looking, you know, we have a couple days, let's just find something to do that we can do. So.
Yeah, boy, those are nice friends, huh?
Yeah.
Really nice friends. So if there's a group out there that wanted to do that, they could contact ReBuild through the website.
Yes.
Is that right? And that is rtwv.org.
Correct. They can also email us through the website. They could call us.
And that phone number
yes, ma'am.
To call is 304-343-4663.
That's great.
That's right. And there's social media as well.
There is social media. So we're pretty good about keeping on top of the social media and responding to people.
So lots of ways to get involved.
Lots of ways.
And tell me, if I was a homeowner who needed some help in my home, how would I reach out to you? And what are the steps required there?
So to a homeowner reaching out to us, they can call that number. They could. Our application's also on our website.
So we start with an application.
Yes, ma'am. And so with that application, there are a couple of things, stipulations to apply. And so first, that person who's applying would have to own their home and land.
And land.
Yes.
So if I'm, for example, had a mobile home, but I'm renting the piece of property it's on, I wouldn't qualify.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. You have to have lived there for about 3 years.
Okay.
You have to be considered low income. And we can help you walk you through that and such. And so that's kind of the main stipulations that we have for a homeowner. And so they can get the application on our website, they can call into the office, and I can send it out to them. And so with that, they send everything back to us, and we make sure all the necessary documents and everything looks great, and we make a home visit. And so we look at what they requested on the application, what do they need in their home. And
So Fiona would be an example of this.
correct. That's, in her application, all she wanted was grab bars. And so with that one, we were able to give her more.
Great. That sounds expensive.
A little bit.
So how do you fund these projects?
So a lot of our projects, most of them are funded through foundations like the Greater Kanawha Valley Foundation. Others are funded by just regular grants. And sometimes we have individual donors as well. Sometimes we've had businesses sponsor a build.
Nice.
So they see a home, see a bathroom, for example, like Miss Fiona, and they say, well, we want to take on this. How much is this going to cost? Let's just donate all that money, and we'll do the work too.
Why don't you tell me another story? Tell me about another life impacted.
So we actually had a homeowner said he needed a new roof, and typically we see leakage spots and stuff. You see a little brown spot in your ceiling. Okay,
Right.
It's been 20 years or so, and so this homeowner, we walked in, and there were plastic bags and duct tapes and everything all on her ceiling, and it was kind of droopy. And couldn't see the brown spot because that was covering it all. So we ended up doing work on the house, and when we tore that down and you looked up, you could see daylight, clear as day. You could see a person on the roof. You could see their face. The hole was so big.
Goodness.
And so we were able to patch that, do a whole new roof, fix the ceiling so it matched this current ceiling. So that was one major project for her. We were also able to give her a new front door, stairs that were safe and secure, and help her walkway because her walkway was very uneven and her balance was not very good. Do some plumbing work for her as well. So
I'm sure she was very appreciative.
she was wonderful, and we had multiple volunteer teams work on that project for multiple months. So and she loved the company.
Aw.
Loved the company.
Because I'm sure she lived alone.
She lived alone.
So she had people in her life.
Yes.
That's wonderful. So you mentioned railings. I know entrance ramps and railings are very important.
Correct.
As a way just to get into the house. And that's something that you can help with too, right?
We do. So we do a lot of various things. And so when people say, well, what do you do? And I'm just like, well, what does this homeowner need? And typically we do it. A lot of our, most of our popular, I guess, most requested applications, they have ramps, handicap bathrooms. Those are our main things.
Yeah. That's really, people are so lucky that there's an organization that is able to help them.
And we're happy to be here.
Yeah, that's great. So it is Rebuilding Together Charleston.
Correct.
The website is rtwv.org.
Yes.
And they can reach you at 304-343-4663.
Yes.
Lots of ways to volunteer and lots of ways to get help.
Yes.
And there is a social media. They can
Always.
follow social media. Allison, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
It's been great to learn about ways you're impacting lives in the community. And thank you guys so much for joining us. This has been Community Connections brought to you by the Greater Kanawha Valley Foundation. We'll see you next time.